Hi, is this Rachel Obstfeld?
Speaking.
You're on Can You Name 5 NFL Players? Congratulations, your name was picked out of thousands and thousands of names. You've been selected to be able to win a fabulous prize. Welcome to Can You Name 5 NFL Players? Today our contestants is, why don't you introduce yourself, Rachel?
My name is Rachel. I live in Seattle. I'm here with a friend. Can she play too?
Of course she can. What's her name?
Hi, my name's Olivia.
And you guys are both from Washington?
Well, we're not from here. We're both from California, but we're roommates, and we live here in Seattle.
And you go to school there, I presume?
Oh, yes. I don't know why you presumed
We're almost
that.
in grad school. We're really smart.
Yeah.
Wow, excellent. Well, if you're really smart, then you'll surely be able to name 5 NFL players. All right, we're putting 12 minutes on the clock. Can you name 5 NFL players?
Together or each?
Together. If you name 5 NFL players, you'll be Venmo'd over $1.
Wow. Over $1. Okay.
Let's hear the names.
Does it start? Do we start?
It started.
Oh.
Your 12 minutes has started.
I have one. Aaron
Aaron Rodgers, that's one.
Rodgers. Mine next, number 2 is Drew Brees.
Drew Brees, that's 2.
Your turn, Lev. Okay,
Ooh, wrong sport. That's soccer.
Okay, my next one is Cam Newton.
Cam Newton, that's 3.
Of the Carolina Panthers.
Oh, a bonus point. Baby, can you name 2 more players for now? Who?
Tim Tebow.
Tim Tebow is actually no longer an NFL player. That's 3. Can you name 2 more?
You know who else is not an NFL player?
Not the information we need.
Kaepernick.
Colin Kaepernick, is he still in the contract?
I'll allow it.
I'll allow it. That's 4. Can we name 1 more for over?
Eric Decker.
Eric Decker! You've won over $2 to your Venmo. Congratulations. The agents will send you the money. We're so happy to have you on the show. Congratulations. Thank you so much for playing.
Thank you so much for having us. This
Thank
is
you.
The dream come true.
Okay, bye-bye, guys. And now back to your regular scheduled programming. We were unable to include the song See You Again due to copyright infringement, so this is Noah Upsfeld's best rendition of See You Again. This goes out to all the Deshaun Watson owners on behalf of all the DeAndre Hopkins owners and Will Fuller owners. And you know, and I'll tell you all about it. It's really tough to have to endure this obstacle this season, but hopefully we can be smart with our trades and the waiver wire and be able to recover from this devastation. And yeah, and
And to all my Jacksonville Jaguar fans out there, it's happening! For the first time in over a decade, we're going to the playoffs. We got Leonard Fournette. We got one of the best defenses in the league, the best secondary hands down, the best pass rush. Marcel Darius just got traded. We got D.D. Westbrook coming back. Everything is lining up for a playoff push.
okay.
But seriously, Deshaun,
Yeah.
I know you're out there listening.
Yeah.
Big fan.
We're going to get a call from him next week. Right now, he's going
Just
to surgery.
get healthy, please.
Yeah. I asked his agent if we could call him this week. They said that he's
It's
going through a lot of
understandable.
emotional stuff right now. We understand, Deshaun. We'll give you a call next week. You can be on the show. Talk about just give a thanks to all the fans and whatnot. All right. So, as per usual, let's give a little shout out to our school here, University of Texas at Austin. Last week we demolished Baylor. No surprise. I think I was the closest with the prediction. With I think a 25-point deficit. It was a 31-point deficit. So a nice refresher after being a terrible team.
Shane Buechele, how about a little bit of
old school.
A little bit of old
2016 old school pro style action.
Shout out to
West Coast.
Michael and I's hometown star, little Jordan Humphrey, with that touchdown catch. His first touchdown catch.
And I know last week we were talking about good names for football. I know the one I referenced was Stephon Diggs. But is there a better name in football than Lil Jordan Humphrey?
I don't think so.
Not at all.
I think there should be a law where you can
Blake Bortles comes to mind as a great name, but I think Lil Jordan beats him.
You know what name comes to my mind?
What?
It's AJ.
AJ.
Shout out AJ
for the mic.
Hey, if you need a roommate who has a really nice, expensive mic, and you decide one day, hey, I want to start a fantasy football podcast with two of my friends who are kind of funny, even though we're very underqualified, and actually don't give that great of fantasy advice, but don't care, then get a roommate named AJ. It's not who it is, it's the name. AJ, a roommate with a mic.
He also brings burritos.
And beer to underage kids. Just kidding. That's a lie.
Don't try that at home, little kids, all right? Don't try that.
We have actually 98% of our viewership are under 12. So
that's true.
And
half of them are female, so thank you to both genders that watch our show.
I feel like that's a given. Why'd you have to make this a gender thing, bro?
It's all...
It just shows that football is not just a boys' sport.
If you have to thank both genders, then you just have to, no matter what you're thinking or what's happening, you just have to thank every group involved by subset. So if you're at the Oscars, you're I'd like to thank the Academy, both men and women of the Academy, all the races of the Academy.
Are you saying there's only two genders?
All right, that's a topic we can
Let's get into this week's.
I also have a gender studies podcast you could listen to.
That's over on NPR.
Let's get into predictions. Predictions for TCU game.
Prediction for TCU game. Even though TCU, I was talking to my friend today. So we were having a lot of trouble with this. But if we beat Iowa State, right? You guys got that, right?
Yeah,
you get that?
Yeah.
And Iowa State beat TCU.
Right.
Got it. Still on track. Then we should beat TCU.
Wait,
is that how it works?
Iowa State also beat Oklahoma, and did we beat Oklahoma?
But we beat Iowa State, and Iowa State beat TCU.
But we beat Iowa State beat Oklahoma.
Damn,
also,
you're right.
I think it'll work this time around.
I will say, though, TCU, they have a quarterback who is also from Southlake. Kenny Trill, also known as Kenny Hill.
I bet there's...
It's a matchup of Southlake greats.
I think there's probably around 36 to 40 Southlake high schools in the United States.
There's only one Southlake.
What a basic name.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, let's hear your prediction now.
My prediction. I'm gonna go. So I always like to put Texas ahead.
At TCU, let's keep that in mind.
So at TCU, I always like to put Texas ahead. The TCU Iowa State game was at Iowa State. I'm gonna go TCU. I think it's gonna be a low scoring game.
Really?
TCU 21. Texas 17.
So you have us losing.
Yep. Sorry, I know I'm always the guy who have us winning, but it's TCU, man.
I'm going Texas 24, TCU 20.
Ooh! With the upset.
And then our realist of the group, thank you, Noah, for
our in-house downer.
I did pick UT to beat Baylor last week, so I'm still, I still go with spreads and things of that nature, but I'm picking TCU 34-17 this week.
34-17.
34-17.
Do you want to make a bet right now?
No.
TCU will not score more than 30 points.
No, I don't want to make that bet.
I'll make that bet.
Why? If you predict him to score 34, why do you want to make that bet?
Wait, let's just rewind the tape. I predict TCU 34, Texas 17. Yeah, you just said it. You said 34.
I also predicted that Amari Cooper would go off, and then he went off. So,
but no.
I think.
No. I got.
We'll be doing the podcast next year, and he'll bring that up.
Yeah, so the next week, he made a bet with someone. Right. And Amari Cooper, and I don't even know who it was.
Jordan Reed.
It was Amari Cooper and Jordan Reed. They both went off in the same week.
He made combined to score 22 fantasy.
Can you stop talking for 2 minutes?
You talk slowly, so.
And he made a bet for the next week that Amari Cooper and Jordan Reed would get more than, 15 fantasy points?
22, I just said.
22. And then we cut it down to 15 later. They didn't even get...
No, it was 22.
And they got... I don't even know what they combined for. I don't even know if they combined for double digits. And he lost the bet.
I know Jordan Reed got maybe half a point, maybe 1 point.
So shout out to Amari
injured
Cooper.
now.
Jordan Reed got
for being ass.
Shout out to AJ.
Shout out to Jamal.
All right, let's continue. One takeaway from last week. We're going to each do a quick takeaway. We have a pretty exciting Thursday night matchup going on right now. Tyrod Taylor and Josh McCown, some overlooked, maybe you could even say below average quarterbacks, but I like both these guys the rest of the season. These are some forgotten names. These guys are. I would start over guys like Matt Ryan.
Really?
I would start over guys like Jameis Winston.
Winston for sure.
I think matchup is important. But I like Josh McCown and Tyrod Taylor, especially Tyrod Taylor. The Bills' passing offense is my ride or die rest of season. I'm saying it now.
All right, interesting.
Really?
My takeaway is that Russell Wilson, per usual, is heating up in the second half of the season.
Yes.
His last 2 games, he's thrown for 7 touchdowns. He's thrown for averaging about 400 yards a game. This happens every year. The Seahawks get hot. Russell Wilson starts turning it on. They just traded for a good left tackle. So have a little more time. Mm-hmm. I think if you can find a way to get him now, his value is probably higher than it has been now. But he's heating up. He's about to get on fire.
Yep. Jared?
Yeah, I like personally. I like Josh McCown above Tyrod Taylor.
Okay.
But both of them right now, you could maybe scoop one of the two up in some
Did you all just do
more
the same
shallow
takeaway?
leagues. But
So what's your takeaway?
My takeaway though from last week,
You unoriginal fuck.
That the Houston Texans offense is dead. Deshaun Watson is dead, and he's bringing DeAndre Hopkins and Will Fuller with him. What are y'all thoughts?
How creative.
More on that later.
Our in-house idiot,
who also makes the best predictions.
That's true. He's right. We'll get to that later, but we can say he's an idiot as much as we want. But right now, he's ahead of us.
He says I think he says more stupid shit than either of us.
Yeah.
Right.
He's definitely winning in the stupid shit column, but in
right.
jamming, it's a different story. All right. So right now, we're gonna go through our games of the week. But before that, we're gonna go through how we did last week. So I just want to say, in Joey's league, shout out Joey's league, I put up 136 points. This is the first week I've had my full squad together after trades and after bye weeks, and this is the kind of shit I can put down. 136. Damn. Expected the rest of the season. I'm 5-3 right now. I think it's going to be somewhere in the area of 13-3 by the end of the season.
Wow.
Bam.
Can I ask what your record is right now?
5-3.
Oh. That's one, or it's already one for
that's
stupid
the second.
shit.
No, second.
I only listen to important things when people talk.
He does bring up a good point.
That's important.
Okay. Last week,
yeah,
I was 5-2, second in the league going into last week. I had a relatively nice looking matchup. My matchup was 4-3 going into it, but he had Leonard Fournette on bye. So I was feeling good about that game. Started 3 Dolphins on Thursday night.
Not a good idea.
They combined for maybe 12 points. Jai, Jarvis Landry, and the defense.
Yucky.
Set the tone. I scored under 60 points.
Ugh.
I mean, the good takeaway is that if it's best that all my players took a dump.
Yeah.
Rather than having one player do it 1 week, the one player doing it the next week. So let's expect big things moving on. I'm now 4th in the league, sitting at 5-3. I like my outlook, but last week was a stinker.
They took a group dump.
Right.
They all went to the...
I mean, look at this. Jameis 1.7. You have the defense get 1 point. Devin Funchess 2.1.
All right.
It's bad.
All right. And then, Jared, how are we doing?
Much like my fantasy predictions, my fantasy team is on the rise. Won another game. I believe it's my 3rd straight win. My team is just good.
What's your record?
5-3. At the beginning of the year, Jordan Howard was not getting touches. Ben Roethlisberger was ass. Ben Roethlisberger is no longer on the team. Alex Smith is my quarterback moving forward. I've made a variety of moves. Amari Cooper's now on the team. And the only problem is, so last week, my main man, DeAndre Hopkins, came to save me. And he's had 224 receiving yards.
Speaking of...
Just can't predict that.
Speaking of DeAndre Hopkins... So DeAndre Hopkins was the guy holding my keeper league up together. I was 4-4 in that league. And so I'm throwing in the white flag.
I don't know yet.
I am throwing in the white flag.
Week 1 is the only week
Me and DeAndre, we're leaving the league. We're going to go to the Bahamas for the rest of the season.
Later?
Yeah. So
I would like to add on Jared's team, though, going into the year, you had Mike Evans and DeAndre Hopkins looking pretty with that wide receiver duo. Traded away Mike Evans. Now DeAndre Hopkins' value is down.
Yeah,
that's not as pretty.
The 1 week where DeAndre Hopkins, week 1, he didn't have Deshaun Watson the whole game.
Yeah.
He still did good.
All right, let's continue.
That's what I gotta say.
We're going to do some buy lows.
What?
We're going thrift shopping, boys.
What?
Okay, that's enough of that. Buy lows. I always like to stress this, guys on buy. If you can go pick up a guy on buy right now, if somehow you can get Jerick McKinnon, I don't think he's a buy low anymore, but maybe someone kind of getting impatient from a buy. Just a buy, but a buy low on buy. Try to scout out those guys. Maybe Thielen right now. Thielen is coming off a good week. I like Thielen over Diggs rest of season. Anyone like you like Diggs?
I'm trying to work Thielen right now.
Yeah.
ROS, I like Diggs more.
All right. Smack it on the wall.
Smack it on the wall.
All right. And I also like Doug Baldwin. As we said before, Russell Wilson heats up hot in the second half of the season. And even though Doug Baldwin has only had 1 or 2 good weeks this season, I think he's going to have a great rest of the season. I think he'll be top 10 the rest of the season. Smack it on the wall.
10.
He's a top 10 receiver in most seasons he plays.
That.
No, I mean, that's a fact. He is a top 10 receiver.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah, so, I mean, he's just been underperforming. Obviously, Richardson's getting a lot of touchdowns. Jimmy Graham and Paul Richardson got 2 touchdowns last week apiece. So,
who do you like more, Baldwin or Richardson?
all right, that's the third.
That's
third stupid thing. Third stupid
Paul
thing. Wait.
That's just stupid.
Tell me you like Richardson over Baldwin rest of season. Tell me. Say
No,
it.
this week I like Richardson.
No,
rest
tell
of
me
season.
rest of season you like Richardson over Baldwin. Say it.
I'll put it. Let's try it.
What do you mean, let's try
No,
it?
do it.
Do you want to smack it on the wall?
Let's smack it on the wall.
Oh my god! All right,
Let's
3.
smack
Wait,
it
let's
on
do
the
a
wall.
let's do a
Can I do some quick research?
prop bet real quick. How many stupid things does he say? He said 3 so
That's
far.
3, so let me.
I say
We'll keep count.
I say no.
Y'all
You gotta.
say stupid shit, but
We'll do it. Okay, I say 9 things this episode. How many do you say?
I'll take the under.
Under?
Yeah.
Well, no. What? Give me a number.
7.
7. Okay, gotcha.
interesting.
All right.
I'd like to say that Doug Baldwin has more catches than Paul Richardson has targets on the year.
Interesting.
Okay. And
That's usually
That
means that
I feel like
that the former will
catches
have more.
means production. I don't
Just
know.
Paul
a
Richardson has 5
Just a
touchdowns
hunch.
this year.
All right, let's continue.
Let's continue.
Other buy lows we got.
I'll go. Well, I was gonna ride Doug Baldwin,
I'm sorry.
but it's all good. I'll ride someone else.
See,
Devin
my
Funchess.
assistant didn't tell me about your assistant, right?
Yeah,
We gotta work on that.
there's a lack of communication. So I'm going Devin Funchess. Recently traded away Kelvin Benjamin. He's got to absorb some of those targets.
Yep.
They got to start throwing the ball at some point.
You like Curtis Samuel too?
I like Curtis
Flex.
Samuel. I need to see something before I
Yeah.
start starting him.
And there goes Powell. Can he? Didn't make it. Never mind.
But Devin Funchess, the targets have still been there. The production hasn't been there as much in the recent weeks, but I really like him going forward.
Especially with that Calvin trade. My buy low is going to be T.Y. Hilton. T.Y. Hilton is, I don't know. He's getting, he still gets targets. He's still getting targeted around 8 times a game. But I don't even know. T.Y. Hilton, he just is catching 2 balls a game. But he's just too good to be this bad. So I think right now he's got a good matchup against Houston this week. I think it's a good buy low. Another thing with that Baldwin and Richardson talk, Richardson currently has more points on the season than Baldwin. Just throwing that out there. And he's only really starting to get involved these past couple weeks. So that's what I'll say about that. Shout out Matt Forte for that touchdown.
Woo! Who do you like rest of the season at running back on the Jets?
Well, I started Matt Forte in the league today, so obviously I like Matt Forte. Wouldn't have started if I didn't like him.
Gotcha.
Another smart play by me. Thank you very much.
There's 4. Let's continue. All right. Sell highs. So my guy only got 1 sell high this week. It might be a given, but Lamar Miller. Lamar Miller, you take away that passing threat pretty much completely. I think we can talk about DeAndre Hopkins later, but Lamar Miller, who's had a very, you kind of cringe at starting him, but he puts up touchdowns, and he's been pretty good this year, and I think he's going to look like the Lamar Miller of last year. Not going to put up the yards. I think Deontay Foreman's going to see a lot more work. You guys, sell highs?
I'm going Alshon Jeffrey.
Okay.
Carson Wentz is tied for the league lead with 19 passing touchdowns. Only 3 of those have gone to Jeffrey. There's a lot of mouths to feed in that offense. You've got Nelson Aguilar. You've got Zach Ertz.
We got a pretty tough schedule coming up,
and then now they're going to want to run the ball with Blunt and Ajayi. I just don't like Alshon. He hasn't really been the red zone threat you would expect him to have been. Zach Ertz has dominated that.
And I think you can sell the team. Because you love having guys on good offenses, right?
And he's had a pretty good track record this year to get some value out of him. I don't want him on my team.
Gotcha.
Because if you look at this, there's been 1 week where he's had more than 4 catches.
Okay.
And so
yeah, I agree with that.
I just don't like that, you know.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that.
Can you sell highs for you?
Honestly, right now, there's not one I'm really keen in looking at right now. If I'm looking at a buy high, it's going to be Booth Tony Romo. Booth Tony Romo is just a quality commentator.
Yeah, if you guys want to join the Commentator Fantasy League, it's kind of like they do points based on quality of talk. There's a lot of criteria, but yeah, I like Romo a lot as a buy low right now in the Booth Fantasy League.
Another interesting sell, Jamison Crowder. He had 13 targets this week.
I don't know if you're able
13 targets, 9 catches.
Here, I'll give you the argument. If you want to sell Crowder, I don't think it's going to be hard.
Well, but if you can get anything.
Well, here's the argument. If you look at the first half of the season defenses that the Redskins play versus the second half, it's a very different group. Second half is going to be a lot tougher. So you can say that they're going to not be able to rely on Chris Thompson in the short pass game anymore. They're going to have to go to Doxson and Crowder. I guess that's something you could use. And you just saw the first evidence of it with Crowder.
They're not using Terrell Pryor anymore.
I like
Terrell Pryor is not even playing anymore.
Right.
That
can only help Crowder.
Yeah.
I like Crowder. I don't think he's a startable guy quite yet, but there's
no reason. He had a great season last year.
He could start showing consistency.
He should be owned in every league.
Absolutely. I don't know about that, but
I like his upside.
Okay.
I don't think anyone on your waivers has more upside than Jamison Crowder.
Okay, I'll give merit to that. Okay, let's go to games of the week. Let's start with Mike. Let's hear it.
I've been doing the NFC South a lot. I'm going to keep doing it. Atlanta, Carolina. The Saints have kind of separated, but no one's truly become the clear favorite in that division. The winner of this could very well become the favorite, but Atlanta's got to get it going on offense at some point. Matt Ryan's been struggling, not anywhere near his MVP level. You know, Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman. They've been playing all right. It's nothing special out of them. Julio Jones has been playing like not Julio Jones, as we've come to expect. But I think they get it together against Carolina. Carolina's got a really tough defense. I think this becomes a shootout. I think Atlanta wins.
Interesting.
I'm intrigued by how Carolina's offense works now without Kelvin there. Who gets those targets? Does McCaffrey get some of those targets? Samuel? How does Funchess play? You know, Ed Dixon. And then also it's interesting is if they're going to start running McCaffrey at all, because they've only used him as a receiving threat. And Jonathan Stewart hasn't done much in the backfield.
I don't know.
Do they start giving him touches?
I don't know what the exact number is, but McCaffrey has by far the most receptions on running backs. It's absurd. I mean, he's not putting in production though. That's the thing.
No, he's been a really good PPR guy.
He's been decent.
I mean, not as good as people thought. The hype he was overhyped.
He's getting he's getting drafted in the second, third round.
Right.
And you see him like 4 carries a game. So
no, he's not. He's solid.
He's very solid.
He's a running back too.
Right, but are you drafting running back 2s in the end of your second round?
Who drafted him in the second round?
Depends on
a lot of people did. All right. Wait, you're good? All right. So next we have another guest on the show. Let's give him a call right now. Kieran, are you there?
Hey, buddy, how's it going?
Hey, Kieran, you're on the show right now. Kieran is a student at UCLA. He's from the hometown, repping the streets of Irvine. Kieran, what's your game of the week this week?
My game of the week is Sunday Night Football, Oakland Raiders versus the Miami Dolphins in Miami.
I like it.
And we actually I know you're a Raiders fan. We actually have one of our hosts here is a Raiders fan. And at the end of this podcast, at the end of your segment, I'm going to ask y'all a pretty difficult Raiders trivia question. And whoever gets it is a better Raiders fan. And Jared, you can't look up stuff.
I'm not. I don't even have a computer with me.
Jared's currently typing. That's number 5.
Jared just lied.
Jared just lied to us. That's 5.
I played Amari Cooper, I promise.
Kieran, just to fill you in, we're counting how many stupid things Jared says. He's up to 5 now. All right, Kieran, can you give us our rundown on the Raiders?
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting matchup. Both teams looking to rebound after tough losses last week. But as you probably know, the trade news for Miami should shake up the backfield. So I would give you just automatically the must-starts. Obviously, Crabtree is a must-start. He's been top 10 wide receiver all year. Big red zone target for Derek Carr. Jarvis Landry is on pace for almost 115 catches this year. So if you're in a PPR especially, you're going to want to start him. In a standard, I'd even give him the nod because Cutler's probably going to be checking it down on the Raiders' defense. Secondary is very questionable. Other than that, Devontae Parker and Amari Cooper are both solid options for you.
Who do you like?
The rest of your receivers.
Who do you like better, standard league, Devontae Parker, Amari Cooper this week?
Personally, I'm gonna shade towards Amari Cooper, not only because I'm a Raiders fan, but he's gotten almost 30 targets the last 2 weeks. So they're really trying to isolate him and get him going to turn their season around. And Devontae Parker has been out a couple weeks, so we're going to see how he's been used. And Jay Cutler, obviously the quarterback edge goes to the Raiders. So,
yeah, I like that. Do you guys agree with that? Cooper over Parker?
I agree with pretty much everything he just said.
Yeah, I mean, I think definitely one of us will get fired by the end of this week, and you'll be replaced. Kieran, we're going to offer you a full-time position. So just Michael and Jared, whoever's nicer to me this week, gets to stay on, just so y'all know.
yeah, would love to see. A huge fan of the show.
What do you? Thank you. We appreciate that.
Appreciate
We have a lot of fans, so it's great to hear from one.
What about to get these personal?
I mean, I think you gotta have to be like some high-ranking NFL analyst to know about the Dolphins' backfield. But I know Kenyon Drake was to pronounce the starter. Where do you like him if you had to say now, rest of season? What kind of production could we see from him?
Personally, I own Drake in 2 leagues. I picked him up. I personally think he's a great trade candidate right away. People aren't. I just think the Miami backfield and offensive line is a mess. If Ajayi couldn't do it, I'm doubtful to see if either of these 2 guys can come in and just turn things around right away. And Ajayi was getting hit behind the line on almost every run. So if someone in your league is thinking, wow, Drake is an automatic start for me, I would flip him right away and try and get some
I agree with that.
good wide receiver depth or running back depth. But at the same time, Drake definitely, I think, has the upside. Maybe not in PPR. In PPR, you might want to shade with if he has a couple catches. But I personally would play Drake. He's got a lot more talent, I just think, straight up. He's faster, came from Alabama, so he knows how to run hard. He's got some upside, but again, I want to wait it out a week or 2.
Yeah, and we'll see how the touches work with Damian Williams versus Kenyon Drake and whatnot. All right, cool. Can you tell us a little bit about I know you're in 2 leagues with me. Can you tell us a little bit about how you're doing in those leagues?
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing pretty well in both leagues. I'm sitting at 5-3, so above the 500 mark, which is always crucial midway through the season. I did suffer some major losses in one league. I lost Rodgers, went down. I
Rest in
Aaron
peace.
Rodgers, Jordy Nelson combo, so I basically lost Nelson too. But Brett Hundley is a UCLA grad, so I have faith that he's going to turn it around and bring some glory.
Who wins the Hey, we have on staff. It's kind of funny. We have a UCLA student who's a Raiders fan, and we have a big USC fan who's a Raiders fan. So it's kind of forbidden love over here. But who wins the USC UCLA basketball game, Kieran?
Oh, you got to go UCLA.
Right.
You got to go UCLA this year. I mean, but USC's on the rise in basketball.
Real quick, Jared, can you name one player on the USC basketball team?
Oh, 100% not at all.
Okay, that's 6. We're at 6 stupid things.
I am a football fan.
Name
All
one
things.
offensive lineman on USC.
Can't do that.
Name one offensive lineman on the Raiders.
You want me to name the whole O-line?
Yeah, do it.
All right. At left tackle, we got Donald Penn. There goes Bilal Powell again.
All right, I don't want to hear that.
Kalechi Osem.
All right, we get it. All right, we believe you. We believe you. All right, Kieran, thank you so much for being on the show. I'm sure we'll have you on again soon. Any last words?
Trivia.
Oh, wait. Correct. We got to get the trivia going. We promised the fans.
Oh, yeah.
All right, here's the trivia question. What was the Raiders' 2016 record?
The Raiders
9-4.
four.
The correct answer
12-4.
is 12-4. Kieran wins.
Kieran wins.
Jared is a fake fan. You're full of shit.
Sure.
And that's
you almost went 9-7.
That's seven stupid things.
I'm surprised that I totaled it up to 16.
It looks like my prediction of 9 stupid things might take the cake.
I'm at 7. He's at 7 right now.
I'm 7 right now. I'm going over under 11.
11! Wow.
I don't know.
All right, so Noah's at 9, Mike's at 7, Kieran's at 11. We'll see how that ends up. Jared, would you like to predict how many stupid things you're going to say?
Yeah, by the end of this episode, it'll probably be around 15.
15! Hey, at least he's an honest man. All right, Kieran, thank you so much for coming on the show. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Bye-bye.
See you guys.
What a great guy.
What a great guy.
He's so professional.
It seems like he knows Oakland Raider football.
I feel like,
probably.
Kieran's the in-house Oakland Raiders, and then Jared's more of the guest Oakland Raiders. Right now,
Except he's not in-house. He's the out-of-house.
He's more in-house. His presence is more in-house. And also, Jared's currently chewing a water bottle. So there's 8 stupid things.
Also wearing a Jaguar shirt today. Repping the Jags, even though I'm not a Jags fan.
All right, there's 9. We're at 9.
That makes no sense.
All right, we're at 9. We have just he says no more stupid things, Noah wins. Noah wins.
All I gotta say is I say a lot of stupid things, but I'm also
I already know this is gonna be
fantasy plays. I started Matt Forte, currently at 16 points in my league.
All right. Here we go.
If you need advice, you come to me.
Gotcha. All right, let's move on to another game of the week. We're going. I'm doing Chiefs Cowboys. This is gonna be a high-scoring match for the ages. Let's. Can you get the over/under for me for that, Michael? So obviously you got the Zeke just got suspended. So if you're a Zeke owner, you're crying in your bed. But if you picked up, it looks like Morse is going to be the starter. They've declared Morse starter, and Rod Smith is going to be the backup. So I really like Darren McFadden. It's going to be an interesting split between them. I think they're all going to see touches this week, and it's just going to be. It's everyone's best guess after Alfred Morris of who does better. I think just because Dak is so good, Alfred Morris has that room to run. I think he'll get 60 yards this week on the ground. What do you guys think?
It's a decent bet. I think that's very viable for any flex.
60 yards. Which running back gets a touchdown? Morris. Just from pure volume. Let me get the weight.
We have to pick a running back.
Let me get the. Also, we look up the weight differentials on the 3 running backs? Thanks, Mike.
That's how in depth we go through.
Over under sitting at 51 for the week.
51. I'm gonna go over on that for sure. All right, then we got Dak. I really like Dak rest of the season. I said a few weeks ago he was number 2 rest of the season. I still like him a lot. He's gonna get a lot of volume going, and he's a good quarterback. If you have a good running back with a bad quarterback, the quarterback stock definitely goes down. If you have a good running back with a good quarterback, it can go up or down. I don't think it'll fluctuate that much, but I think Dak will still be every week starter. The Chiefs, there's not really much to say. Beyond Kelsey, Hill, Hunt, and Smith, there's really no one else to talk about starting, and those are every week starters. Smith, I think, is on the fringe of an every week starter, even though he's number 1 or 2 in quarterback scoring right now. I'm not so comfortable starting him every week, but this week is a good matchup. All right. Who's left?
So we got Darren McFadden at 6'2", 210.
Okay.
Alfred Morris, 5'11", 222.
Ooh.
It's a big boy.
Big boy.
I like that.
Rod Smith, 6'3", 231.
Oh,
that's a big dude.
It's a big man.
I'm going Alfred Morris. Yeah.
I'm going Alfred too.
Anyone who's gonna get? Let's do Alfred Morris. Who's second best getting a touchdown this week?
I think Darren McFadden will.
I gotta go. Rod's the easy choice, easy way out, but I think Darren McFadden gets it. All right,
the easy way out's the best way out. Who's
the last guy? Who's left?
Over here we got the Seattle Seahawks and the Washington Redskins. We talked a little bit about the Seattle wide receiver core. Russell Wilson has really turned it on as of late. Paul Richardson, I think he's the go-to man the rest of the season. Doug Baldwin's still the best.
There's 10.
He's still the best receiver there, but I personally like Richardson better. Jimmy Graham has kind of turned it on. He's a bit touchdown reliant, but I know this week he's a top 3 tight end play according to ESPN. Obviously a must play. to the Redskins, Michael talked a little bit about Crowder being. I think he's a must-own. Right now, he's owned in about 70% of leagues, on Yahoo at least. You just keep him there to see if he can start to make it consistent. Thompson's still a beast. Kirk Cousins against the Seattle defense. I don't think the Seattle defense is, Deshaun Watson carved him up last week, but I don't think they're the same at all. So I think even with mediocre quarterbacks, middle of the line like Kirk Cousins, I think you're still good to play him against Seattle.
Okay.
Good.
All right, we're
gonna
gonna
score for that game.
Score.
Score for that game. I'm gonna go 17-10 Seattle.
What's the
After talking up Russell Wilson being on fire and that offense being good.
So that's
17 points.
11. There's 11. 11 stupid things.
That's ballsy.
All right.
I guess.
So 11. We just got to Kieran's prediction, and wait a minute.
We're going to get to my prediction by the end of the night.
I think that he might be sabotaging
Is this
the bet.
collusion?
Collusion.
Is this like self-collusion?
Terrible. All right, let's call our next guest. Let's call him up.
Hello?
Hi, Neil. You there?
Yeah.
All right, we've got our in-house Giants expert here, and not only is he one of my good friends from back on the streets of Irvine, Neil is actually a quarterback at San Diego State University. So, meanwhile, the three of us are sitting in our chairs watching TNF. Neil is going out on the field and actually touching footballs. When's the last time you guys touched a football?
I just finished with practice about 2 hours ago.
All right, 2 hours ago, and you guys
Last Saturday.
Yeah, it was last Saturday.
I think mine was last Sunday, I want to say, but that was a fluke. That was like an outlier. All right, Neil, who are the Giants playing this week?
Wait.
The Giants are playing
Wait.
the Rams.
Yeah.
Okay, so I gotta ask, who's gonna win this game?
Alright, so, Giants, were they 1-7 at this point?
1-6. Rams are 5-2.
Rams are like second or third in the power ranking right now, so Giants definitely have a tough matchup this week. I'm actually going to probably start the Rams defense in one of my leagues, but
That's very, very brave of you. Very bold of you. It takes a certain kind of man to do that.
I'm going to have to say Giants just because I like the Giants, but
That's a great.
That's a hell of a fan right there. Hell of a fan.
Great reason. And so talking about the Giants' backfield, so we got too many names to even count. Who do you like rest of the season? Who's going to get the reps? I know Orlean Darkwa. Great name for football?
I think it's actually the opposite. It's a terrible name.
Okay, terrible name for football. Do you like him rest of the season as the guy to go to in the backfield?
the Giants' backfield's always been rough. They're really a passing team. I feel like
Yeah.
Paul Perkins going into the season was really promising,
But he died, so.
yeah, Dark was kind of stepped up late, but I really in terms of fantasy wise, I don't recommend any Giants running backs unless you're a touchdown dependent guy.
Yeah.
I really feel like they're going to get the carries and split the reps back there.
So then,
Not optimal.
okay, between Sterling Shepard, what will the rest of the season look like for Sterling Shepard, and what will the rest of the season look like for Evan Engram?
Sterling Shepard's probably going to be probably the guy out there. Engram will probably get goal line throws, which is good always, and then Shepard's going to be number one receiver, but he's probably going to be the biggest name out there, and then whoever else they pick up. But definitely a waiver wire team looking for whoever steps up, someone to pick up.
Yeah. I know Roger Lewis has stepped into the second position after the entire receiving corps passed away. So I like Sterling Shepard at, I think, wide receiver 2 just based on targets.
Targets and volume.
Yeah, and then Evan Engram, I know he's a weekly starter, but Dynasty League, who do you like more, Evan Engram or let's go with Kyle Rudolph?
Well,
as it sits right now, I think the Giants are a lot more tight end reliant. Rudolph's definitely a big factor, especially with Bradford out. Bridgewater coming back maybe could add value to Rudolph, but I feel like the Giants are just dependent on the tight end right now because everything kind of went down, and obviously they drafted Engram high, so it's a bright spot, and they're going to want to get him the ball.
Very cool. All right, Neil, we wish you the best of luck with your playing time at San Diego State. Thank you for being on the show, man.
Yeah, go Longhorns.
Hey. Well, we'll obviously educate him that that's not the phrase soon. But yeah, go Longhorns. Go Longhorns. All right, let's talk about our upset of the week. Let's go over these pretty quickly. This week is a lot of pretty predictable matchups. But my upset of the week is Atlanta over Carolina. The Carolina offense just lost a big piece in Kelvin Benjamin. I don't like that. Funchess is obviously the targets. Olsen isn't back yet. Ed Dixon's looking okay, but I think the offense is going to be lacking a lot. McCaffrey, obviously we talked about him. He can't run the ball, so I think the offense won't be able to pick it up. The defense is looking great lately, but I think the Falcons are going to have to get it going. They have all these big names who can't get production going this year. Freeman and Jones have been doing pretty poorly. I like Freeman as a buy low right now. Jones obviously is a buy low, but it's just hard to do that, especially with the kind of stuff you're going to have to pay for Jones. But if you can get him for cheap, go for it.
Way to go out on a limb and pick the reigning NFC champions. I like that.
To beat a team that just traded
the reigning NFC championships who are 4-3.
Which is decent.
Over a team who is 5-3.
It's a ballsy upset.
That's a ballsy upset.
In a division matchup.
Are the Falcons even close to the powerful offense they were last year? Say they were.
No, but they don't play the powerful offense. They play the Panthers.
Right.
The Panthers are 5-3.
The Falcons are 4-3.
It's an upset. It's
all right, Mike. How about your upset of the week?
I am staying faithful to my California teams.
No,
and I'm going,
don't say it.
Don't
say it.
The San Francisco 49ers. They get it done.
A whole 1.5 spread.
They play the Arizona Cardinals, which if you're a fan, you know that they're starting Drew Stanton. Even without Jimmy Garoppolo. With C.J. Beathard I think
Pierre Garçon.
I think San Francisco gets it done. They find a way to win.
Michael, look me in the eyes and tell me that if San Francisco does not win this week, you'll stop predicting San Francisco as your upset. Please.
San Francisco till the day I die.
Oh, God.
I agree. Jags, man. All right, I'm going to have to go with my boy Neil on this one. I'm going to pick the Giants over the Rams. I think this is just screaming.
That's 12.
There's 12.
I thought this was upsets. You just picked the 49ers, who lost.
Against Drew Stanton.
Fair point. Okay. I'll allow it. I'm crossing out the 12th point, in case you're wondering.
Thank you. I don't know. There's just something about the Giants that I think they could, do a little something.
Can you give me some evidence to make me think that they're going to
upset? It was mainly I couldn't find another upset.
That's fair. This was
most appealing to me.
That's fair. Good
point. All right, let's move on to truths. Yes.
The truth of the week.
Let's hear it.
I'll start off, I guess. I got, right now, Alvin Kamara as my truth of the week.
Okay.
He's playing Tampa Bay. Michael's over here shaking his head like that's not a good player.
But I love how Jared picks already very relevant players.
Right.
To be their truth. To be his
truth. Here's the rule. Here's what the rule should be. If you pick an already must start, you got to have a high.
Yeah.
Let's hear it. I am very high.
Let's hear it.
20 plus.
20 plus and PPR. Let's go non-PPR.
Non-PPR 16 plus.
All right.
I think he's the Tampa Bay. They don't have a good defense really, and he's just getting high volume. He's starting to get more carries now too. His average per carry is through the roof. He's getting tons of receptions. I think every week he could get up to 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
Good.
Mike, let's hear it.
My truth, I already talked about him a little more, is Devin Funchess. I'm intrigued to see how, he's gotten a lot of targets even with Kelvin Benjamin. Now Kelvin Benjamin's gone. He's got to absorb some of those. I'm going 70 yards and a touchdown. Devin Funchess. Booking.
Okay.
Interesting pick. Kind of basic considering the trade news, but
Wow.
What
a downer.
Just picked a top 15 running back.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's called a smart pick.
All right.
Sean Payton-led offense, who's already known for offense. Who's playing maybe the worst defense in football.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Kamara,
All right.
Michael Thomas, ROA. That's a joke, people.
That's 12. That's 12.
That was sarcasm.
You can't say it straight up, and then after we count it as a stupid thing, then say it was sarcasm.
I said it as soon as I finished it.
Yeah. Hey,
that is a thick running back on the Bills.
Mike Tolbert.
The vulture. All right, no, let's hear your truth.
All right, my truth of the week, and he's my guy over here in Detroit, and he's been putting up good yardage recently, and we're going into Green Bay, and I think Golden Tate's going to have big numbers this week. I think playing in Lambeau is pretty hard. Obviously, Stafford's used to it, and last week he got 420 yards with no touchdowns. So the yardage is there against a good passing defense in the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I think he goes for over 100 this week.
Over 100 touchdown?
Over 100. The red zone just isn't there. I don't know about the touchdown, but I'm going to go...
120 yards?
I'll go 120, yeah. I think 120 just because he is my truth. 8 for 120. And I Green Bay, I think it's not... I don't think this is a great, phenomenal matchup, but I just think the Lions will be on the field so much. I think that they're going to shut down whoever the quarterback in Green Bay is. And if your name is not Aaron Rodgers, the Dolphins, the Lions are going to shut your quarterback down. And, yeah, I think that the Lions on Sunday have...
What kind of score are you putting on that game?
Well, the Lions, first of all, will have 3 turnovers. And the score will be 35-20. Lions.
35-20 Lions?
35-20 Lions.
27-24 Packers.
Oh, no! You couldn't. How could you say this to me? How could you say this to me?
I'm leaning more towards Michael's pick on that one.
Wow.
I'm also going to pick the Packers.
I just don't trust the Lions in Lambeau. I'm sorry. I disrespect your franchise. That's coming from a Jags fan.
Whew. Yikes.
Darius Slayton.
Yikes.
Terrible corner in Darius Slay. What kind of score are you putting on that?
I think it's going to be a low-scoring affair, actually. I'm going to say 17-14.
Green Bay?
Pack. Go, Pack, go.
All right.
Let's move on to jamming. Jared, take it away.
All right, so we're going to go over last week's jamming first. Of course, that's the JMN Football League where we pick 1 quarterback outside the top 10, 2 running backs outside the top 15, 2 receivers outside the top 15, and 1 tight end outside of Zach Ertz, Gronk, and Travis Kelce, of course, in a non-PPR, going based on ESPN's projected scores for the week. Last week, the reason I am announcing the scores is because I obviously took it home. I do say stupid things, but I also know the most about fantasy. Of course, I started Matt Forte tonight.
12? That's 12? 12 stupid things?
I think you said 12 a bunch so far.
Well, we took back
into last week's jamming.
Last week's jamming, I took home the crown 54.5 when Noah had 50.2. We're not going to mention Michael's score because he wasn't very good.
I had Jameis.
McKinnon took me to the crown. But that leads us into this week's jamming. Who wants to go first, guys? Noah, why don't
I have DeMar Davis in my keeper league. He just fumbled recovery, almost took it back for a touchdown.
You have a defensive player?
Yeah, we have two linebackers.
Oh, wow.
All right, Mike, start us off.
My jamming roster of the week at quarterback, Jacoby Brissett.
Boo.
Can I just...
I'm going more on matchup
Let me
than
pull
on player.
up... Okay, do you think the Lions have a bad passing defense?
No.
You guys
completely sarcastic.
Okay, thanks. You guys are being mean. You're being mean.
Right. Running backs. Joseph Mixon.
Wait, who's your quarterback?
He just said Brissett.
That's sarcastic.
No.
Oh, God.
All right. Brissett at quarterback.
Let me just say you're
playing
wrong.
The Texans defense.
All right, so it's between there and me and Jared.
Right.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. So at running back, Joe Mixon and Alex Collins. It's pretty easy. I like Mixon against the Jaguars' rush defense. Only flaw in the Jaguars, the rush defense. I know Marcel Derry is supposed to help shore that up, but he was acquired midweek, so I like Joe Mixon. Wide receiver, I got Funchess and T.Y. Hilton.
That's your truth.
Wow.
And at tight end, Mr. Cameron Brate.
Wow. Well, all right, Jared.
That's the winning squad.
Also, Matt
What you
Forte
got?
with another touchdown. Of course, for your fantasy advice, you come to me. Okay, for my jamming squad, at quarterback, I got Jared Goff against the Giants.
Did you just pick the Giants to beat?
Yes.
So you think it's going to be a shootout?
The reason I picked Jared Goff is because I think out of everybody outside the top 10 quarterbacks this week, he is one of the more consistent plays. And that's all I'm looking for this week.
But if the Giants beat the Rams, how many points did the Giants score?
I don't know, 20 points, something like that.
So then how is...
Forte just scored again.
He could throw one touchdown pass and 250 yards, and I'd be okay.
Right, cool.
Real quick
Thank you.
game break. Matt Forte, 14 touches, 77 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
14 touches or 14 rushing?
14 rushing attempts, excuse me.
Plus all of his receiving yards.
Which is
24,
19 receiving yards.
Turning back the clock, Matt Forte.
Back the clock.
All right, let's hear your rest of your team.
Running backs, I also got Alex Collins, but instead, I'm really not a big fan of Mixon. He had a big screen pass that kind of inflated his stat line, I feel like.
Why are
last
you
week.
putting my team down? Put your team up, dude.
So I also, instead of Mixon, I got Alfred Morris.
Oh, God.
At receiver, I also have T.Y. and Funchess, but at tight end, I got Engram. So the difference between Mike and my squad is quarterback, 1 running back, and our tight ends.
All right, I got some different stuff going on. Another quick game break. LaShawn McCoy, who was another one of my ride or dies this season, 11 carries for 26 yards.
Against a Jets defense.
Which
Jets
is not
defense
that
is pretty
not
solid.
bad,
But it's
but
not like
still, it's
a
LaShawn
lockdown
McCoy.
defense.
We're talking about the 5-2 Bills versus the 3-5 Jets. Not looking nice. 31-7 right now. All right, Noah's week 3 of Jammin' winning squad is at QB. Hey,
Yep.
Derek Carr.
Derek Carr.
Derek Carr. At running back, we got my boy Amir Abdullah and your boy Alex Collins. And then we got a wide receiver, Deshaun Jackson and Deshaun. We're going to roll back time just like Matt Forte. Roll on back time. And we got Sterling Shepard. So I'm going with the targets over there, the volume in New York. At tight end, 2 touchdowns last week, Jimmy Graham. We're rolling back the clock this week on my team.
I'm excited to see how it goes.
All right, now let's go into some hot topics.
Basically saying, here's my decision, but you guys have 24 hours if you'd like to.
This is why the production production division needs to be fired.
So hot.
We're going into hot topics. Oh, we're talking about Deshaun. We're talking about the Cowboys backfield, the Dolphins backfield, the Eagles backfield. It's getting hot in here. Woo! You guys okay? You need some water?
No, I'm okay.
I'm good for now, but I mean, I'll take that.
Hot topics. First of all, let's talk about our hottest topic in here. Jared, who's by far the most attractive one of us.
Thank you, everybody.
You're welcome.
Appreciate
All right. Obviously, the hottest topic of the day, of the week, Deshaun Watson. We got into a little bit before. Let's talk about what this means for the Texans offense.
I think DeAndre Hopkins maintains, obviously value goes down, but I think he's more sustainable than what Will Fuller was doing because DeAndre Hopkins is going to get so many targets. He's still going to be, I think, a borderline top 10 receiver, maybe even a firm top 10 receiver. But I think where it goes down is with Will Fuller because the reason why Will Fuller was relevant because he was getting 50-yard touchdowns, 60-yard touchdowns that Tom Savage, quite frankly, just can't throw. I'm sorry, but Deshaun Watson's got a cannon. And I don't like Tom Savage going down the field, so I think Will Fuller will stop getting the touchdowns.
As we say, Tom Savage is not true to the name.
And then you also throw this in that Houston just traded away by far their best offensive lineman. And that's okay if you have a mobile quarterback that can escape pressure, but Tom Savage is a immobile just target standing in the pocket. Jacksonville exposed them in the first half. The only time Tom Savage has been playing, there's going to be a lot of sacks coming Houston's way.
Yeah, I totally agree. Fuller is pretty much a non-starter, maybe a match-dependent flex.
This week, you think you're not starting?
Not this week, but in the future, maybe a match-dependent flex. I mean, there's no one else they're going to in the passing game.
I like matchup dependent.
The top 2 up until this point, the top 2 on average receivers in the NFL, fantasy point wise, are Will Fuller at number 1 and DeAndre Hopkins at number 2, which is absurd. But it says a lot about Deshaun Watson.
Right.
Obviously, like I said, Lamar Miller's not going to be as good. So, but I think so. Last year, when Deshaun Watson was still a young lad in college, we had 954 yards on the season with for Hopkins. So that was 60 yards per game. I think 65 to 70 is realistic for Hopkins. Maybe a touchdown every other week, but he's definitely downgraded to a mid-tier wide receiver 2.
I think he's a low-end 1, high 2.
Okay. What do you think, Jared?
I'm going to have to agree with a lot of what y'all are saying. I don't think Fuller is as bad as what y'all are saying right now, especially with how well he's played. I think this week he should be started, and if we're not seeing any targets or very many yards, then we can go forward from there. But I think this week you should start him. Hopkins, week 1, when Savage was QB, he still had 10 targets, 15 fantasy points. So, we'll see. His fantasy points is definitely going to go down, but I think close to top 10 is realistic.
I think you start Fuller as well, just to
Fuller flex this week.
Well, he has a good matchup, and I think this is a good time to test out what he's going to get.
It's a great matchup, but it's just a whole change of pace. I like Hopkins this week, obviously, and maybe in 2 weeks against the Colts caliber defense, I like Fuller. But this week, I don't like Fuller just because of the change in offense. Yeah, I'm saying if they were to play the Colts, not this week, but next week,
I think you start
when they're getting it going. Right. Yeah, I don't know about Fuller.
I'm just worried about for them as a team. Who's their backup now? Because Tom Savage is just literally sitting there.
Matt McGloin.
Oh boy, because Tom Savage can't
another terrible name, McGloin.
McGloin.
Their offensive line.
I think McGloin should work McGloin could work in a meat packing factory.
Yeah. Deli maybe.
I don't want to be like, hey, Matt, and think of McGloin. I want him to work in a factory and be on the side of the industry. I don't have to worry about it.
As a customer.
You have to talk to him. Matt McGloin. Okay, another hot topic, the Cowboys backfield. Let's just do quick rounds. Cowboys backfield, Morris, everyone, Morris.
Flex.
Flex, yeah. Dolphins, Drake, low-end flex, 12 team flex. 12 team plus flex.
I think you play him, but it's a wait and see.
Yeah, it's a wait and see.
He's just a speculative ad. See what he does.
Eagles backfield. What is J.J. this week?
It's been mixed opinions on whether Jai's value's gone up, whether his value's gone down. I'm a J.J. owner, and my one concern is whether or not he's going to have a full workload. I still think Blunt's going to get carries.
I disagree.
Same.
I think Blunt's going to get carries, but if Ajayi gets a full workload, his value goes way up.
I don't think Blount will get anything but goal line carries. I think they're going to run Jay Ajayi. I think he's going to get 18 touches a week.
That's my only concern.
From the Dolphins.
Which is down.
I think Blunt's going to get 7 carries a week, which you know how I feel about DeMarco and Derrick Henry. I don't like that.
But Jay Ajayi's carries will go down, but he's on a much better offensive line. He's on a much better increase for sure.
Okay.
The only reason I hesitate is because if they go a timeshare backfield,
Jay Ajayi
stays about the same, honestly.
Jay Ajayi is more dependent on the offensive line than the average running back. He was just getting hit in the backfield on the Dolphins this year, and now he has a really great offensive line. The passing game is going to open the box for him.
Running back 2 or running back 1?
2. 2 until we see otherwise.
I think he either ends as I don't think there's a middle tier. I think he either, if he gets the workload, he's a running back 1, or if he doesn't, he's a flex.
I think he's going to end it as a 2.
Okay.
Just like you said before, there's a lot of mouths to feed.
So if he gets a full workload, though, he's not a running back 1 in your eyes?
If he gets a full workload, I want to say, high-end running back 2, but we just got to wait and see.
Cool.
Meanwhile, Matt Forte tearing it up. Looking like 2000.
A really disappointing game for the Bills.
Looking like 2009.
5-2 could easily go to 6-2. Start working on solidifying a wild card spot.
And as you guys know, the Bills passing game is my ride or die this year.
Absolutely destroyed the Raiders last week, and then they come out to the Jets like
kind of says a lot about how terrible the Raiders are.
Well, the Raiders destroyed the Jets, so that's football for you. Any given Thursday night.
All right. Last thing, let's talk a little bit about Kelvin. He didn't start this week on the Bills, but what do you guys think this week? What do you guys think for the rest of the season on the Bills? They have the number 1 easiest passing defense this rest of the season.
I think his value goes down. Strictly because receivers on the Bills just don't get high fantasy points ever. I don't know what it is.
Tyrod likes to share the wealth.
Tyrod shares the wealth, and he runs the ball a lot. So, like,
Can
they will pass the same amount as other teams, but instead of Tyrod actually passing it, he will run the ball.
I don't think they do. Oh, like
right.
dropbacks,
So just the same amount of dropbacks, but
Can I just real quick? Let me give you the defensive pass the passing defense ranking. Excuse me, for the rest of the season.
I think I'm just gonna do a quick tidbit here. I think Noah's done this at least once every episode.
Yeah,
I agree.
It's the fans love it
because he rides Tyrod.
17-8. That's one of 2 bad matchups. 17-8, 28, 32, 31, 11, 32.
That 11's dicey. That's in the playoffs right there.
So 11's dicey, but
what week is 11?
15.
Semis.
Yeah. All right. Last thing I want to do is we're at the 1 hour mark. Let's just do quick Super Bowl predictions. All right. So y'all want to pull up the standings? What do you guys think? From AFC and NFC. AFC right now we have by division leader we have Titans and Jaguars, Steelers, Chiefs, Patriots. Who takes the AFC?
I think it's between the Chiefs and the Steelers at this point.
Okay.
And
Not even the Patriots in consideration?
I don't like the Patriots moving forward. I like the Chiefs to win.
I understand you don't like them going forward, but if you're in a postseason game and you have the Chiefs against the Patriots and it's a postseason, who do you like?
Yeah.
In Kansas City, I like Kansas City.
Okay, I respect that.
But I think
purely
it's
because of home field advantage.
I look at the Patriots the same way I look at any LeBron James team. If they can do whatever they want in the regular season, if they get to the playoffs,
it's a different story.
It's completely different.
I just think the Chiefs, when they're at home versus playing in the snow,
that's going to make getting a top 2 seed top 2 seed very.
I hate to say it, Tom Brady's. I mean, from what we've seen this season, Tom Brady should have been injured already. Doesn't make any sense that he hasn't been injured. But yeah, I mean, it's tough to say. But Patriots, I think Patriots, Steelers as the AFC Championship.
Let's all go around quickly. Say our team that we get out of
Patriots.
the AFC.
Patriots,
Chiefs,
Steelers. I like that.
I like how that works.
I think it's
very poetic.
The NFC is.
Oh, really? It's between those three?
The NFC is very
Wait. Not the Jags? Not the Jags?
Because you have the Eagles dominating.
2 out of the 3 of your favorite fantasy podcasters right now are wearing Jag shirts.
That's true.
Shirts?
One's a jersey. Excuse me.
Quick note is that the Jaguars are bringing back the teal jerseys this week against the Bengals.
Thank God.
I'm so excited. Sunday at noon Central Time. If you're not doing anything, pop on some football.
Pop on.
Make sure you watch the Jags game.
NFC, who we got? The Seahawks are hot right now, but they just don't have a running game. Trade deadline is passed.
Oh, one quick note about the Seahawks is they said Eddie Lacy's the starter this week, and they're going to ride him this week. I don't know.
There's
Low
13.
end flex, you're kind of stretching.
There's 13.
Kind of stretching.
13. Oh, wait. So if we have one more stupid thing said, Jared wins and Kieran loses. Right now we're at a tie.
In the NFC.
There it is.
Cowboys winning the AFC.
All right, let's go around. NFC.
All right, NFC. Let me go last.
Jared, NFC.
Eagles.
I got Seahawks.
I'm going with here we go. You ready for this? Just Saints.
Saints. So what we got? So what's your
Saints, Pats, Super Bowl 52.
What do you got?
Chiefs, Eagles.
Steelers, Seahawks. We all have
different
all very viable.
All right, let's do here. If you get one, here's the point total. If you get one team, I think we'll
add it to our jamming records.
We'll reconvene in 2 weeks. But in 2 weeks, the Super Bowl predictions will be worth the same. So if you get one team in the Super Bowl, you get 5 points. If you get 2 teams in the Super Bowl,
15.
From 1 week, you get 15. I think I like that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, and then in 2 weeks it'll be this. We can cross that bridge when we come to it, but it'll probably be the same scoring. All right, guys. Any last thoughts? Any last words?
Jaguars going to 5-3 this week.
Jaguars Lions Super Bowl 52.
I could see that happening.
I could see it happening.
I would enjoy watching that.
Hey,
Raiders aren't even close.
Real quick, selfish plug right here. NFC North, who wins it? Vikes, Lions,
Vikings.
Vikings.
Lions win.
I'm surprised by how the Vikings offense has actually been adequate.
Keep getting it done.
Without Bradford, without Dalvin.
Yeah. All right, guys. 4th time's the charm. Sorry we couldn't have Deshaun on today. He was scheduled, but obviously with the injury, threw off his availability. Aaron Rodgers had to reschedule too. Something about, I don't know, having to coach Brett Hundley and whatnot. But we'll have them on next week for sure. They rescheduled. We love you all. We love the fans. Please comment, subscribe, and honestly, if you're listening at this point in the video, props to you. Go treat yourself. Go get a pink berry. Go get some new shoes, cause you're the kind of person who deserves that kind of thing. All right, peace out, y'all.